Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. I am so glad you stopped by today. I hope you enjoyed today's video and what I have prepared for you. But first of all, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda, and if you're returning, you know how much I love you. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I'm going to use a 5-gallon paint stir stick. I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color Crimson. I'm going to use this 12-inch wood round from Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to start off with removing that hanger from that wood round. Super easy, you guys. And then I marked that stir stick with my pencil on where I wanted to cut it. And then I took it out and cut it with my miter saw. Then I just painted one of the sticks and that wood round with my Crimson. Once it was dry, I took my antique wax and I am just using a paper towel and I'm just going around the wax with a brush here. I'm going around the wood round. Oh my word, that's a mouthful. With my antique wax, and then I'm just brushing it or wiping it with my paper towel. And I'm doing that because primitive crafts look old and kind of antique-ish. And so that's why I am using the antique wax here, just to give it that old time feel. And then once I had the wood round all completed, excuse me guys, I went around that wood piece, the paint stick, with the wax as well. Then I took my pencil here and I'm just trying to draw what will look like holes in the bottom of my bell. And then after I drew that out, I took my paint, my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, and I'm just painting all along that I drew. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a fun one, you guys. I am just having quite the time speaking. After I had both of those done, you have to let me know what you think if that looks like a bell. My husband thought I should add more of those, and I didn't think so, but I don't know. Let me know. Anyways, I took my wood glue and my hot glue here, putting it along the back of my paint stick, and then I'm just going to place it in the middle of my wood round. Then I took some of these greenery picks. I got these off of Amazon, and I'm just cutting the little pick part down, and then I'm going to use my hot glue and glue them just going along the side part of my bell. And I'm just going to layer this one on top of that one, just like you see me doing right there. And then once I was done with that, I took some string, some twine here, and I'm putting it through my bells and just tying a little knot to hold them in place. And then I cut them down one longer than the other. And this one is going to be about the same length as the other one that I measured there. Then I'm just going to hot glue. I tied knots on the ends of those, and then I'm just going to hot glue them onto my wood round, just like you see me doing right there. Then I took some of this ribbon. Now this ribbon came with those bells. I got those bells from Amazon, and I'm just doing a finger bow. I think it's a double finger bow. Just wrapping my fingers twice, and then I'm just taking that tail here. I'm going to wrap it around all of those loops, and then I'm going to come back around and go through that loop that I went around the other loops with. I was having a hard time keeping it in my fingers there. Then I just pulled tight, really tight on that end to make sure that it's all nice and tight. And then I just kind of fluff it, and I'm going to hot glue it right over where I have all of those bells glued on. And then after that, I'm just going to cut the ends at an angle, just because it's kind of hard to cut dovetails on that thin of ribbon. And then I'm going to put that twine back in, or that hanger back on. I probably should have done this before I added my greenery. Kind of was a little hard to get it in, but I got it in, and there it is. I absolutely love how this came out. I just think it's so pretty. You have to let me know what you think about this one in the comment box below. Okay, I want to shout out to all my wonderful subscribers. You guys are awesome. And if you're new here and enjoyed today's video, I would invite you to hit that red subscribe button, become part of our family. And if you would like to support my channel, you can do so by giving me that thumbs up, commenting, and watching those ads. I truly appreciate it. And then if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find the links to those accounts as well as my affiliate accounts in the description box as well. Okay, here's DIY number 2, and I apologize if you hear my grandsons in the background. They're playing games and they're kind of loud. So I'm going to start out by using my Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster and antique wax. I'm going to use a strip of this fabric I got from Hobby Lobby, and then 3 of these wood ornament pieces I got from Amazon, and then this cutting board from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to start off by taking a paper towel and just adding some of that antique wax over my cutting board, and I do this the front and the back. I just wanted, again, give it a more darker finish, which gives it a little more of a rustic look. After that, I took my chip brush here, and I am just doing a dry brushing all along the middle of each one of those wood rounds, and I just didn't want it to be a real thick coverage, and so that's why I decided to just kind of do more of a dry brushing. Once they were done, I took my black Sharpie here, and I'm just making some eyes for the snowman, and then I'm going to make a smile by just making polka dots into a smile form. And then after I have this smile all completed, I'm going to use that little orange Sharpie to make his nose. And I'm just going to do a triangle, but I'm going to do it like sideways, a sideways triangle. And then I just colored it in. And then once I was done with that, I took my pieces and I'm just going to start hot gluing. Now this is the biggest piece out of all, and then the next one was a little bit smaller, and then of course the head was even smaller. So I'm just going to hot glue each piece in place, just like you see. I'm covering up the little ornament hole they have there, and then I'm going to add the head. And you guys, this thing comes out so adorable. I just absolutely love how this came out. And then after that, I'm going to take some of that fabric, I cut it down, and I just tied a little knot in the middle, and then I hot glued it around his neck to look like a scarf. Then I took the back of a paintbrush, and I'm just going around making dots all along the rest of that cutting board so that it looks like snow falling. And then after I had that done, I decided to just kind of make it look like a mound of snow underneath that snowman. And I'm just taking that plaster and just kind of painting it all in. And I'll say it again. I really love the way this came out. So once I had it to the way I liked it, I took my Sharpie and I colored in a couple of buttons for the snowman, just like you see right there. And then I took some felt and I cut down a little square and a long rectangle piece, and I'm just going to hot glue that square on top of the snowman's head. And then I'm going to put the rectangle piece right above it so he has a little hat. I don't know why I glued all the way across when it's only going to be part of it that's glued down. Oh my goodness. So after that, I took a tag. I got these tags, I believe, from Hobby Lobby, and I am just writing out Merry Christmas. Now, when I write it out, I am doing little dots. I got this from Tracy at, what's her I can't think of her channel name. I'll have it in my description box. Country Craft something country. But anyway, she calls them happy dots. And so I am just trying my best to make this look cute because I don't like my handwriting, but I think it came out pretty cute. Adding those little dots really does help. So I'm just writing out Merry Christmas and doing all of that. And then I took a black paint pen and I'm just going and coloring all around the edge of that tag. I just think it gives it just another depth of dimension, and I don't know, I just really like the way it came out. After that, I decided to take my antique wax. I have a little sponge brush here, and I'm just sponging it kind of on, brushing it kind of on, just to kind of darken that tag a little bit more, make it a little more antique-ish looking. Then I took some more of that fabric, and I'm just tying a knot in it as well. I cut it down, tied a knot in it, and then I'm going to hot glue it right where that hole on that tag is. And then after that, I'm just going to glue it onto my sign right next to the snowman. Oh, it's so cute. Then I took some tumbling tower blocks. I'm going to take 2 sets of 3 and I'm hot gluing them together. Now these came in that color. The box of tumbling tower blocks that I got from Dollar Tree. Some of them were natural color and some of them were painted brown. So I'm just hot gluing them to the back of my cutting board there so it will stand. And then I took one of these picks and I cut off the pick part, and I'm just going to hot glue this right along so it looks like a little tree there in the forest with the snowman. And I absolutely love how this came out. You will have to let me know what you think about this one as well, but I just think it is so stinking adorable. Okay, so it is a time for a celebration of your recreations. And Connie made these beautiful wreaths. You did an amazing job, Connie. Thank you so much for sharing. I love that flamingo one. And then we have Tracy. She created, this is I think she said Japanese. Oh my goodness, it's something they celebrate. I'm so sorry. She told me in the email, but they turned out great. Thank you so much for sharing, ladies. And if you have a creation or a recreation that you would like me to showcase for you, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there or to me through Facebook Messenger or Instagram. Okay, DIY number 3. I think I'm on vacation mode, you guys. I'm having a hard time talking. Okay, I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color Sandstone. I'm going to use my home decor chalk paint in the color Antique Green, and then my apple barrel in Tuscan Red. So, and then I got this stencil from Amazon last year at Christmas time, or right before Christmas. And then a 14-inch wood round from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to start off by painting that wood round with my Sandstone color. And I painted front and back. And then once it was dry, I took my Tuscan Red here and a stencil brush. I taped on my stencil, as you see. And I'm going over the fresh cut Christmas trees with this Tuscan Red. And you guys, this is the perfect red color for primitive, I believe, because it's kind of a maroonish color, and that's what you go for with primitive. Then I went and I was doing the bottom part where it says cut and carry, but I knew I'd get it on the tree area, so I went ahead and covered it with some painter's tape, and then I went ahead and finished dabbing in all of that paint over the cut and carry part. Once I was done with that, I did remove the tape, and then I went ahead with my green and added the green to the holiday greenery part, and then to the trees, and then at the very bottom where it lists the different types of trees, I just added the green all around. And I really love how this one came out too. It's really easy. It did take a little bit of time, especially right here, because I knew I'd get some on the red. So I just took a small paintbrush and dipped it in the paint, and then I just dabbed. I just dabbed and dabbed and dabbed all around that area. And then I went back and finished with my stencil brush. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I am so having a hard time talking, you guys. I apologize, but go ahead and laugh with me. I don't mind. And then I'm just going to remove my stencil. I went and washed it all off, of course. Then I took some more of these picks and I'm just going to hot glue them right on top. And I would have loved to have brought that down a little, but this stencil barely fit on this wood round. Then I made another finger bow out of that same ribbon that came with the bells and glued it on the front. And then I hot glued some of that ribbon on the back for a hanger. And that's all there was for this. The one thing about primitive is it's very simple. It looks homemade, old-fashioned, and simple. And that's why I didn't do a whole lot of stuff on this wood round. But I really do love how this came out. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, DIY number 4. You guys, I love all of these. Okay, so I'm going to use these hair curlers from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use this burlap fabric from Dollar Tree. And then this was actually material I got from Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to use a tin can. I think this was like a 28-ounce can. I am going to use my Waverly chalk paints in the color Plaster and ink. I'm going to use this Deco Art Americana in the color Cinnamon Sticks, and I'm going to use some cinnamon as well. So I'm going to start off by painting each one of these curlers with my Plaster paint. And I did, it's mainly just to kind of help conceal that blue. And then once I had them all painted and they were all dried, I'm going to curl them like a candy cane. And when you do that, you can kind of see the blue. So I did have my brush ready and I just kind of touched it all up right there. So it might be actually better to curl it and then paint it. And then you don't have to worry about doing it twice. But once I had them all done and they were all dry and my fingers got washed and my brush got washed because I am so messy, I took some of that burlap, cut it in strips, and then I am just wrapping 3 of my candy canes with the burlap. Now, as you can see, it makes quite the mess because I have strands everywhere, and that's okay. I did have to trim parts, but you know, it works. I'm going to hot glue those together, the end together. I don't know why I didn't cover the end of the candy cane where it's white. I should have. I don't know what I was thinking. I know what I was thinking. My grandsons are coming soon. I got to get this done. So I took some of this really thin red ribbon that I've had in my stash forever, and I'm just going around it, wrapping it around to make it look like a candy cane. And then I'm just going to glue the ends together, cut off that excess. And yeah, I love it. Anyways, so after I had those 3 done, I took some of this ribbon. I'm going to do the exact same thing, just teeny bit of hot glue because that hot glue will melt those curlers, that's for sure. And then I just wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap. And I love the way this comes out, you guys. I really do. Sorry, I'm laughing at my grandsons. I don't know what they're doing out there, but they're being silly. Anyways, once I got this done, I'm going to hot glue as well. And then I just use my scissors to kind of trim off any of the strings that were hanging out. Then I took this can and I'm going to paint it with my ink color. I'm just going to paint the whole thing on the outside. I did paint a little bit on the inside in case you see the rim, which I can't remember if you do or not, but I'm just going to give this a nice coat. And then once it was all dry, I'm going to wait until I finish. I'm taking a little sponge and I'm dabbing it in that cinnamon stick. And I am just dabbing all around the black. And I'm not doing a real thick coat because I want some of that black to show through. But I wanted this to look like a rusty can. And once I'm done here, I'm just finishing up here with some more wherever I felt like it needed. Then I took my cinnamon and I'm just sprinkling it all on. You guys, it smelled so good in here while I was doing this. But I just sprinkled this onto the wet paint. And you guys, I love the way this came out. It is so cool. I know I've seen other people do stuff like this and it looks great. But man, when you do it in person, it's amazing. So then I just took some bags that I had, some plastic bags to fill inside the can. I wasn't sure how much I needed there because I wanted to make sure that my candy canes stood out. You could use floral foam or whatever you have, stuffing if you wanted. And then I took some, these are greeneries that I got from Amazon as well. I'm going to cut them down and stick them in. You guys, I ordered some of these things for Christmas in July because we didn't want to get all my Christmas crafts down because of having family here. So, so I just ordered a few things from Amazon, and then I'm going to add here my candy canes, and I'm trying to make it to where, we don't have 2 burlaps together. I'm just kind of mixing them together and adding some of the little greenery stuff that I got in as well from Amazon. And then I did the same thing. I made another tag and I spelt out candy canes and doing the little happy dots. And then I'm going to put 5 cents. I decided it needed something more, but I guess I didn't do it yet. I colored in the edges with my paint pen there again, just like I did. I started to write candy canes on the back, and I started to spell canes with a D instead of N. Oh my gosh! So so if you saw that on the other side, that's why that was like that. But anyways, I'm just going to use my paint pen to color in all around the edge of this. And then this is where I decide I'm going to add 5 cents to it. So I just added 5 cents and then did some happy dots on that as well. And then what do? I made a little bow out of that red thin ribbon that I had and placed it over the hole. And then just like the other one, I'm just using my antique wax, just kind of brushing it on with a little sponge brush here just to give it more of that rustic, darker look. And I do really like how it looks when I do this. So once I have that all completed, which should be any second now, I am going to take some Elmer's spray adhesive, sprayed on the back, and I held it there. It wasn't wanting to stick, so I did end up having some clamps to clamp and hold it down for I don't know how many hours, but I love how these came out. They are so fun, and they do look primitive and rustic, and I just love it. So yeah, let me know what you think about these as well. Okay, here is the final reveal of all 4 DIYs. You guys, I really had so much fun creating these. I think I'm going to be doing a lot more primitive Christmas stuff come a few months from now when we do Christmas, because I absolutely loved them all and I had just a blast. So you have to let me know what you think about these. Which one was your favorite? Again, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you go. It's free to you and it means the world to me. And then don't forget to give me those thumbs up and comment. I'm not quite sure when I'll have a next video. I know it will be on Sunday. I might have one before then. We'll see how I feel when I come back from Oregon. So with all that, you guys have a blessed week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.